Hello guys, how are you doing? I wore this full sleeve shirt to give you motivation that it feels so good to wear such a apron because all these Yochi days we have been wearing the half sleeves apron. Wearing that itself is also a very wonderful feeling though. But if you get your PG seat, which you are dreaming for since long, that comes true and you get to wear this a white coat, which itself is a privilege. Uh, how, how is your study going on? Comment in the comment section below. Your study plans. A new week has started. So, what are you planning for these days? Are you on track or still trying to get motivation from elsewhere? Also, give you suggestions regarding the videos coming up. Do you want a specific topic to be discussed or any 5 mixed bag questions I have been trying since 2 days? And also share your experiences while studying. How are you being keeping yourself motivated throughout the day? And are you getting that energy to push each day harder? Because we have very less time now and we need to do our best to get the best. So comment your thoughts below, comment your planning, the things you're studying right now. If I can be of any help to you, I would be really grateful. So let's get into today's 5 questions. Today I decided that yesterday the pre-PG GT has been done. If you know the pre-PG app, it's a free resource which gives the PG aspirants daily 50 questions or daily 75 questions, and on Sunday they conduct a GT. The questions on GT are legit and they're very good also. So I'm trying to simplify 5 questions, top 5 questions from the GT which was conducted yesterday. Share your thoughts below. So now let's get into the 5 questions.
Today's first question. A 20-year-old female presented with HP of 9 gram per DL, MCV 55%, and RBC count 4.5 million per mmQ. There is no history of any blood transfusion. What is the most probable diagnosis? The similar question has been asked in NEET PG 2022, but a slight modification have been asked in the pre-PG GT yesterday. What the options are: thalassemia minor, thalassemia major, anemia of chronic disease, iron deficiency anemia. What do you think is the right answer for this question? I guess you have guessed the answer correctly. The concept behind this question is that whenever we see such question, we come to an idea that it's as there is no history of blood transfusion, we quickly rule out thalassemia and we mark the answer as iron deficiency anemia. But that's not the point over here. Whenever in the options they give HP and MCV, you must, that point of Menzer index should immediately click in your mind. You must never ever miss this concept. Menzer index is MCV divided by red blood cell count. So here they gave the values of MCV as 55 and red blood cell count of 4.5, which comes to the value of 12.22. So according to the Menzer index, if the value is less than 13, that is thalassemia. If it is more than 13, that is iron deficiency anemia. Here it is less than 13, so here it's thalassemia. But we have two options in the questions with the answer as thalassemia, that is thalassemia minor and thalassemia major. Here there is no history of blood transfusion, so the answer comes as thalassemia minor. The question is as simple as that. If you know you should remember the concept of Menzer index whenever you see such questions. Coming to the second question, which has been asked yesterday, a mother comes with a history of antenatal fetal death, utineural tube defect in her first child. What is the amount of folic acid you will prescribe during preconceptional counseling? The first option, 4 microgram per day, 40 microgram per day, 400 micrograms per day, 4,000 micrograms per day. What do you think is the correct answer for this question? This is the question. It's a factual question, because if you know the actual amount which we give, that's simple. You know the answer. But there's a trick over here. They're asking in a woman with a previous neural tube defect. That's the trick over here. So if we come to the concept here, normally in a healthy female, as you know, we prescribe 400 micrograms of folic acid, that is 0.4 mg per day. This is in milligrams. What we want is in micrograms. So in a normal healthy female, we give 0.4 mg per day, which is 400 micrograms per day. But in a female with a history of neural tube defect, we give 4 mg per day, that is 10 times of the normal dose. So it comes to be 4,000 micrograms per day. This question has been discussed. This question is given differently in different texts. Like some say 4 mg per day, 0.4 mg per day. But you be clear, it's this is also a previous AIIMS question. In a female with a history of neural tube defect, it is 4 mg per day. In a normal healthy female, it's 400 microgram per day. That is, here it is 4,000 micrograms per day. So the answer over here is 4,000 micrograms per day, which is 4 milligrams per day. Coming to the third question, which of the following is not a symptom of imminent eclampsia in a G2P1L1 woman at 36 weeks of gestation presenting with a blood pressure of 150 by 105 and proteinuria on a urine dipstick? The options are pedal edema, headache, blurring of vision, persistent epigastric pain. You can easily rule out. Here they're asking not a symptom of imminent eclampsia. We are very sure that headache and blurring of vision are symptoms of imminent eclampsia. But between pedal edema and persistent epigastric pain, pedal edema is a physiological thing. It's commonly seen in normal females also, normal pregnant females also. So here the answer would be pedal edema. Remaining all three options are symptoms of imminent eclampsia. Fifth question, a 2-year-old male infant presents with abdominal distension and failure to pass meconium. A rectal biopsy reveals an absence of ganglion cells. This condition is most likely caused by congenital absence of neurons between which layers of the gut wall? Mucosa and submucosa, muscularis propria and serosa, submucosa and muscularis propria, mucosa and serosa. The given image is given in the exam also. This question has been given in NEET PG 24. Do you see the options? What do you think is the correct answer? After seeing this question, I was pretty sure that this is a case of Hirschsprung disease. I remember all the points about Hirschsprung disease in the exam, but I failed to identify the layers in the image. I felt that as very why am I not confident in such question? It is a very simple question, but I was confused between the layers, between the mucosa, submucosa, muscularis propria, and it isn't given as simple as in the options over here. In the exam, the options were given a little difficult, like as is shown in the image 1, 2, 3, 4. They also marked that 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 1 and 4. By seeing the options only, I got confused. So such questions, even we know the answer also, will be unable to answer that. So here the answer is submucosa and the muscularis propria, because the ganglion cells are absent in the Auribach plexus, which is the Meissner's and the Auribach plexus. So I want you to answer this question. Label the as shown in the image. Label the parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and what do you think 1, 2, 3, 4 mean? You please put in the comment section so that we will know whether you are knowing this PYQ or not. Thank you for watching until now. See you tomorrow.